Patience and support is very important in marriage. It is key to a lasting relationship, lasting marriage. When both parties are patient with each other, everything works out. I have seen in most cases, actually, according to my analysis, most women are leaving their homes, they're leaving their husbands behind, they're breaking up in their marriage, they are divorcing just because there has been a financial setback, you know. Women are leaving their homes just because of a financial setback. The man can no longer provide, the man can no longer do things the way he used to. This man needs you physically. This man needs your support. He needs your courage. He needs your love. He needs you to give him a shoulder to lean on, not for you to show him his back. Like when you came into that marriage, you did not actually come to walk the journey of love together, but you came for your own benefits. You came for your own business. Like you took your marriage as something you just wanted maybe to take money from, you know? You don't care about your husband's happiness. That is very, very wrong. When a man gets financially set back, you are supposed to stay there with him. You are supposed to support him mentally, physically, psychologically. What about thinking of you moving around and grabbing yourself a job so that you support the family in the meantime as he works things out? Most of us women think it is just a man who has to take an overall responsibility of a home. And for us as women, what we have to do is to only cook, do the laundry, and make up the home. No, we are supposed to stand in all situations. We are supposed to wear shoes where appropriate. You know, where it's appropriate, you are supposed to step in. He has lost his job. I mean, his business or your home or whatever has been confiscated because of unfinished loan. He has been duped. He has been conned. Whatever it is, there is a financial setback. He needs you. You need now to step in and support the home. Your children need you. Your husband needs you. Instead of you mocking him, instead of you beginning to gossip about how he can no longer take care of his home, how he no longer supports you, how he's becoming useless at home, he's even beginning to stink, because some women think when a man goes broke, everything about him starts to nag. You no longer find anything good about him just because he can no longer support you physically. He can no longer take care of your needs. He can no longer take you out for a date. You can no longer, do things the way they have been. I'm going to tell you, if you are a righteous woman, and a virtuous woman, you are supposed to support your husband. You are not supposed to move around with other men. You're not supposed to go on cheating from man to man just because you are looking for material things. Just because you are looking for happiness elsewhere. You imagine because your husband is not working, so there is no more happiness. Everything has been ruined. No. I'm telling you, problems in marriages sometimes comes to test our patience, to test our love, to test our resilience, to test our tolerance, to test us. So it is upon you to be strong. It is upon you to be wise enough to pass the test. Go through that process together with your husband. Help him go through it. Encourage him. Guide him. Motivate him. Talk about stuff. Go through everything together. You will come out a whole successful woman. You will come out as an inspiration to other people, to other married couples. Stop determining your husband's love financially. No, that's not how it works. When things don't go right, step in, work out things. Because if you get a financial setback, and you don't come to stand in as a woman, to support in whichever way possible, and the world begins to laugh at your husband. No, they are not just laughing at your husband, they are laughing at both of you, because you are the marriage. Marriage is an institution. You are the ones that make up marriage. So you are supposed to work out things together. Instead of you beginning to mock him, instead of you taking him into depression because he can no longer meet the bills, he can no longer pay rent, he can no longer pay water, he can no longer pay this and that, he can no longer meet the bills. It's you footing everything in the home. And so you just want to step on his head, you just want to walk on him just because now you are the one paying all the bills. You forget all the time he has been doing this. You forget everything he has been doing for you, paying the bills, taking care of you, taking full responsibility as a husband. And now that he just cannot fulfill all that for this short time, you begin to step on him. You want him to do everything for you because you are supporting a home financially. You begin to disrespect him. Most of us disrespect our husbands, leading them into depression. You disrespect him. You no longer want to give him sex. You don't want to sleep with him. You don't want to share with him a bed. You don't want to talk to him. You look at him as useless, hopeless, and someone who cannot think. Someone who can literally do nothing for himself just because he lost his job, or just because he has got a financial setback for whichever reason it is. I am telling you and guiding you women, let us learn to be virtuous women. Let us learn to be responsible and respectful women. A responsible and respectful woman can never step on a man because she is footing the bills in the home. No. How do you feel when your husband begins to drink himself cheap just because he's trying to find sleep? Just because he's trying to have peace of mind? Just because he's trying to forget whatever is past him? Just because he's trying to go through the process, the pain. He's trying to overcome the pain. Instead of, how would you feel? Instead of you being there with him, support him, be with him, guide him, counsel him, tell him it shall be okay, you begin to mock him, bringing your friends home. You begin to laugh all loud. You do whatever you want. You put on music so high. You begin to do every nagging thing, because if he begins, or if he just keeps on saying a thing, you can file for a divorce, and then he will have nothing left. Most of us even end up turning our children against their fathers just because they can literally not support financially anymore. Forgetting it's just a while. It's for a short while. It's not going to last longer. Let us learn to be women who are responsible. Let us learn to be women who are real. Women of substance. Women of standard. Women, oh my God, be there for him. He needs you. Don't just laugh and mock him. Don't call him names because he can no longer support a home. Go through the process together. Support him. Don't just cheat on him. Don't just begin to do all the disrespectful things. Things that he least expects of you. Be a woman of good moral standards. Be a woman who is going to inspire others. Let your children look up to you. Let them tell stories when they grow up. Positive stories about that situation. Let them relate their life to their parents' life positively. Let it have an impact, a positive impact to their life as they grow up. Let's sit with that. When there is a problem in a home, most especially if it's a financial setback, learn to go through it together as a couple. Don't just let your husband hustle to get out of the problem all alone, and you are just there watching over him, do all things by himself as you just mock and keep nagging on him. You want to step on him just because he can no longer foot all the bills. That is so disrespectful. Let's not be forgetful. Don't be such a forgetful woman. A good and righteous woman builds her home. A stupid woman ruins her home. You could actually think by you getting disrespectful and doing all this kind of nagging stuff that you are doing good to yourself, but you're actually doing more harm, because the situation your husband is in is temporary. It's very temporary. He's going to come out of that situation. So you've got to remain humble. Be very humble. Remember where you've come with your husband. Accept and keep appreciating the good things he has been doing for you, and he still is willing to do for you. For a meantime, if he can no longer support, stand in for him. If you've been home, being just taken care of, it is high time for you, or it's high time you got up, looked for a job, started doing something for yourself and for your home until he stabilizes financially. That is a righteous woman.